Imagine a frantic getaway driver flooring his car down a highway at 100 kilometers an hour. He looks to his left and sees a grandmother on a small motor scooter, perfectly parallel, keeping pace without breaking a sweat. At those speeds, a standard scooter motor should be melting. Traditional lead-acid or lithium-ion batteries aren't designed for that kind of sustained power output. The internal resistance would generate enough heat to cause a total mechanical failure in seconds. The reason this scooter is still moving is Rohit. He's a neighborhood mechanic who spends his days in a quiet garage, secretly upgrading local transport with engineering usually reserved for deep space probes. Rohit is doing more than just fixing engines. He's providing his neighbors with the tools to turn lopsided street crimes into displays of superior technology. This all started when that grandmother came in for a simple battery replacement. Rohit decided to skip the store-bought parts and instead installed what he calls a mini nuclear power unit. This chart highlights the difference in energy density. A standard lithium-ion battery only holds a small fraction of the potential found in nuclear fission isotopes. By using radioactive material, you can pack millions of times more energy into the exact same amount of space. The device is a radioisotope thermoelectric generator. It captures the natural thermal energy released by decaying isotopes and converts it directly into electricity. For the scooter, this means a constant, unyielding supply of torque that never needs to be plugged in. To manage the safety of a radioactive core on a public street, Rohit added a localized quantum lock. This ensures the power unit is physically bonded to the scooter's frame, making it impossible for anyone to remove or tamper with the core. By utilizing extreme energy density, Rohit converted a simple commuter tool into a pursuit vehicle that can run at maximum capacity for years. The nuclear battery faced its first real test when kidnappers took the grandmother's grandson. She didn't wait for the police. She simply twisted the throttle on her modified scooter and gave chase. The kidnappers were in a car with a standard internal combustion engine. To maintain high speeds, that engine had to burn through a finite tank of gasoline while running at high RPMs, generating massive amounts of heat and mechanical stress. The scooter, however, was drawing from a fission reactor. Since it wasn't burning fuel, it didn't suffer from the same thermal exhaustion. It provided constant, smooth thrust mile after mile. After a 200-kilometer pursuit, the kidnapper's car finally ran out of gas and coasted to a stop. The grandmother, whose fuel source was barely even warm, was right there to meet them. In a long-distance chase, a gasoline engine eventually hits a hard limit. A nuclear-powered vehicle simply waits for that limit to arrive. Rohit's work eventually attracted a professional battery thief named Vijay. Despite his parkour skills and agility, Vijay couldn't bypass the quantum locks Rohit had installed across the neighborhood. Rohit decided to catch the thief himself. He set up a stakeout in his personal car, a plain black sedan nicknamed Chotu that looked like a typical family vehicle. When Rohit spotted him, Vijay fled toward a nearby lake, diving in with a portable oxygen tank. He expected the car to stop at the water's edge. Instead, the car's sides opened to reveal hidden wings. With a bright blue glow from the rear thrusters, the sedan lifted off the pavement and took to the air. This diagram shows the vehicle's transition to submarine mode. The chassis creates a watertight seal, while the internal life support systems adjust the cabin pressure, allowing the car to function safely hundreds of feet below the surface. Rohit drove the car directly into the lake, following Vijay beneath the waves. The thief found himself staring at a pair of headlights until his own oxygen ran low and he had to surface into the arms of the waiting police. Physical agility and specialized gear are quickly outmatched when the pursuit vehicle can move across land, air, and water simultaneously. Rohit's secret had a high-energy footprint. Every time he engaged the thrusters or tested the nuclear core, he was releasing energy signatures that were impossible to ignore on a larger scale. National defense sensors eventually flagged these anomalies. They picked up a vehicle performing flight maneuvers that contradicted the known physics of civilian aviation. Military officials and government scientists followed the data. They didn't find a hidden airbase. They found a small suburban garage. This dossier contains the surveillance photos that led them to Rohit. When the government's top engineers realized they couldn't replicate his energy-dense power units, they offered him a role as a lead defense consultant. Rohit's first project was a decommissioned fighter jet. Within 2 weeks, he had replaced its entire fuel system with a nuclear core, enabling the jet to reach Mach 13 and perform vertical takeoffs from any flat surface. The nation's most advanced aerospace technology now comes from a local repair shop. The same workbench used to fix a neighbor's scooter is now being used to secure the country's airspace.